podcast. You're here with your girl Renee
and Princess. And you may have noticed if you are watching and not just listening, but there is someone else with us today.
Is it?
I think so. I'm sure I noticed someone was in the room earlier.
Hi guys.
It's Sheeva, everyone. Woo! Let's go. How are you, love?
I'm great, thank you. How are you guys? Thanks for having me.
Of course, man.
This is so exciting. We've been wanting you on the podcast for a really, really long time.
I mean, I have been listening, watching and thinking, I need to be a guest.
Exactly. So we're happy you're here. So, Sheeva, did we say your name? Did we say?
I think. Oh wow! Sorry, that's a rookie mistake from
Come
me.
on, Prince.
It's going on.
Princess, what are you doing?
Game
over.
Here, I didn't think she was going to know where to go. My
Which
phone
I didn't.
is never on silent, but I was like, it needs. I mean, on loud. But anyway, that won't happen again. Apologies.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've said her name. Her name is Sheeva.
Her name is Sheeva. She is our friend, long-time friend from school.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I've known her for. Go on, do the maths.
15 years.
A long
15 years.
Middle school.
Middle school? We went
Christ. Yeah.
Because we started,
At the
which
same
I
time.
didn't know.
No, because I thought you were just there. Yeah, same. And you had been there.
She started in year 6.
Year 6.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, my mum was just doing a rogue, apparently.
Yeah, that is rogue.
Don't come in with the new starters, just go in the middle and not know anyone.
But
That
then
was
at
great.
least you were the only new person.
I don't know, I'm not sure that was a good thing.
Yeah, maybe not. Now I'm thinking back to middle school and everyone was quite mean, so
Yeah,
no.
that's what I'm saying. So yeah, we've known Sheeva a very long time.
15 years, that's nice.
It's such a long time. I actually had my Facebook anniversary with a lot of people because I was born. I had my parents were those parents that were like, not till you're 13.
Yeah, for real. So I want you to tell the people a little bit about yourself.
I can do
Culturally.
that. Everything.
Culturally.
Where are you from?
Where are you from?
Where are you really from? So I am Iranian. Both my parents are Iranian, and I just realised I'm looking directly at the camera.
That's fine.
Not
I
you
know
guys.
all the time.
And yeah, I mean, I was born in the UK, as you guys know.
The New Cross.
But I am 100% Iranian. Some might say, although I've not done one of those DNA tests, so I can't know that for sure.
I feel like you should do one.
Well, see, the weird thing is for Christmas, my parents bought my brother one, and they were like, here you go. So we were all a bit like, well, is there something you need to tell him? Why does he need to do a DNA test? But I'm not sure if he's actually done it, so I'll have to ask him. But it's definitely 100% Iranian.
Nice, love that. So where are you from? What do you do?
From around here, ish.
Round here being...
Ish, well, yeah.
The West Mids.
The West Mids. Went to, grew up here and then moved away. Currently living in Australia, which is very far away. And then currently I'm working in finance.
Finance.
Looking for a girl in finance.
5'5". Broke.
So let's start from the beginning. So we went to school together, as you know, guys. What was you wanting to do when you was in school?
Oh, if we went from the beginning of the beginning, I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but I wanted to be an ice cream van.
What,
The actual van. I loved ice cream, and everyone. So you know when kids stand up and they're like, "I want to be a doctor. I want to be my dad, or I want to be." And I stood up and literally had drawn an ice cream van with no person in the front, and was like, "That's what I want to be."
And how did that go for you?
Well, I obviously couldn't become an inanimate object as much as I would have liked to be.
Rolling around.
And then the next career that I was like, okay, maybe I could potentially do that, was actually to be a lawyer.
So you went from ice cream van to lawyer.
I think I grew a couple brain cells, and then I was like, I did a mock court trial. Do you remember that in Codsall Middle?
Gosh, I do remember that.
I feel like.
What were you in it?
I was the defense lawyer.
Let's go.
And then I did that, and I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do.
Love that.
I wanted to be the court artist when we did that, but I don't think I was.
I don't think you got that.
No.
I can't remember who got that one. It wasn't you.
Oh, right. I was there. I got to be there.
And I won too.
So it was
I was
So
like,
it's a sign.
obviously it's made for me.
Okay, and then you did law at uni, yeah?
I did.
At Liverpool.
Liverpool, yeah.
Up the pool.
You see that?
Yeah, that was good. That's a good memory.
And that made you still want to stay?
Yeah, I
Like
still
that?
wanted to do it from there. And then I think at that point in uni, though, everyone was applying for training contracts, which are things that you need to apply for to become a solicitor. And I was always holding back from doing that. And I think that's kind of telling now with the path that I've taken.
Yeah.
But then I finished my undergraduate degree and went and did my legal practice course, which is what you need to become a solicitor.
Okay.
But then you also have to do like the practical side of it. So I did do that.
So you've got
And-
all the qualifications
Yeah, I kind of
ready.
went and got all the qualifications
Okay.
and then just sort of blipped. If that's what you'd call it.
That's kind of cool. Also, when you were doing your LPC for short, isn't that when COVID struck?
Yeah.
So do you think that kind of changed, or had you already got in your head that you weren't going to pursue it after the LPC?
No, actually, I knew that I was going to do my LPC and then go travelling.
Oh really?
Yeah, and then I thought, oh, get the travelling out my system, come back and get a big girl job.
A big girl job.
I mean, I did go work in, because then COVID hit, so then I had to go work as a paralegal.
Yeah.
I didn't have to, but I chose to do that.
I had no choice.
I had no choice. And then saved my money up and then went travelling.
Paralegal. How was that? I applied for a paralegal role once upon a time.
Really? God,
And I was
I'm
like-
really finding out so much about today.
Once upon a time. I was like 19.
Really?
Yeah. Sean was like, why don't you just apply for it and see if you like it? If you don't,
Yeah,
then
I mean,
it's whatever.
I
But
think it's definitely good. I think if you want to get into law, especially if you want to be a solicitor, that is something that you do have to have experience doing. It was good. Like, I learnt so much and dealt with a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So
Good
imagine.
exposure.
massive, like it added so much to my knowledge, which
Yeah.
you get at uni, but it's all like theoretical rather
Yeah,
than like
yeah.
practical, as we all know. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed that.
love that. So you did all your qualifications, and then so what? You just like, forget this. I'm out.
Well, after I worked as a paralegal for maybe a year and a half.
So what got you to that decision to think, oh, I want to go travelling?
I needed the money. I just needed to save the money.
Yeah.
So once I saved the money,
You were just
You got-
gone.
I was gone.
Gone.
Yeah.
Was this the first? Which travelling time are you talking about here now?
So this would be the big one that I did with Lucy and Ellie.
Okay. But you did some travelling before that.
Yeah, I've done like little bits here and there. Like, it's always been something that I've like always wanted to do. Like, I went interrailing when we just finished school, and then
I don't know what that is.
so just like when you catch the train across Europe a little bit. Yeah.
Plan your whole route through trains across Europe.
Although I don't think I can call mine interrailing because I was being stingy and got the bus everywhere. I interbused. I actually don't think I got on a single train.
You went to some really cool places in Europe though.
Yeah, I mean, it was a cool thing to do at 17.
Gosh, if you're only
17?
Because I hadn't turned 18
Oh, you
yet.
went straight after school, but you're a late birthday.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
god.
crazy. So when you went, what was your favourite country you went to at that time, and then your least favourite?
Oh,
Question.
Slovenia, best. I will still can't speak. I will still say now that Slovenia is one of the best places I've been to in Europe. There's a place called Lake Bled,
I remember.
and it's just incredible. And the capital city, Ljubljana, is like really hip. Like, I'm gonna sound so old when I say that. It's so hip. But like, it is really. I just didn't expect that.
Yeah.
I think it also exceeded my expectations.
Okay.
That's good.
Least favorite. I mean, everywhere's got its own
Yeah.
perks. Like everywhere's great, but
Yeah.
the one that I probably would recommend the least is Vienna, so Austria, but not Austria as a country because there's so many places and it's got so much to do. But Vienna, I just felt like I was bored.
Do you think that's because you had expectations of what it was going to be? Like, so do you know how you said like Slovenia exceeded
Yeah.
it? Do you feel like Vienna? I feel like if I had Vienna, I'd be like, this is going to be
Amazing.
Especially if you
know.
put Vienna then Slovenia, I'll be thinking straight to Vienna.
Yeah, because it's like a
That's
big
what you
one that
see,
everyone
yeah.
goes to. Yeah, I think I just expected there to be more. Like,
Yeah.
like there's what I've realised as well is like there's a lot of historical sites, but I've realised whilst I love to go visit the historical sites and learn about things, it's not the main thing that draws me to places.
So what is?
Food.
Food.
Definitely food.
I'll say that.
I've realised over time when I speak to people and I'm like, have you seen this like travel food YouTuber? And people are like, no. I'm like, oh, I thought everyone watches him.
I think mine would be food.
Yeah, so I do watch a few, not travel food people per se, but people who like rate food when they go to different countries and stuff.
Have you heard of Mark Wiens?
I haven't.
See,
Mark Ween.
that is,
I'll get on that.
I thought that everyone watched him because of how much I watch him.
Yeah.
And he's this, I think he's like originally, I think he's from Thailand, but I think he lives in America.
Okay.
And he goes to all these like so many different countries. He's been to Iran as well, which is obviously where my parents are from, and goes and tries all their food. And the signature thing that he always does, he goes, oh wow. Exactly like that. If any of you go and watch it, you will see that I've perfected that over the years.
Let's go.
I love that.
But yeah, definitely food. That's what I go to the countries for.
I'm just gonna have to do that. Sorry, carry on.
What, go and
Just try food.
just try food?
Try food. I always go for steaks in it, so like I just
Yeah, it should be. Honestly, we're all so greedy.
You really are.
For
What
real.
did you learn from that travel experience? Obviously, you're quite young. So what did you learn from that you've taken forward in the travels that you did after that?
So as a young 17-year-old, I expected.
Mature.
Yeah, I was
super
mature,
mature,
but
yeah.
like I was naive. And I thought everything was going to be great because I'd planned it all out.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, 9 out of 10 things went wrong. Like, I'd booked buses that turned out to be fake companies that didn't show up, so I was just stranded in places. Or like, it was one thing after the other that would go wrong, and I would panic. I'd call my brother because he's an experienced traveller and be like, what do I do? And then from then on I was like, do you know what, things do just generally go wrong, and like you've just got to keep a calm head and just resolve it as you do anything in life. Not think, oh, everything's ruined now. So that's definitely something that I learned in that first trip.
You do have to be very flexible when you're travelling and adaptable, and I feel like it's more daunting because like if you were in the UK and something went wrong, you wouldn't feel so scared, but I think because you're in another country for some reason it's like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do, how am I going to fix it?
100%. And that was also a time when you couldn't get, or maybe you could, but I hadn't thought about it, is getting a SIM card in each country. I mean, it probably wouldn't have made sense because I was going between countries like every 2 to 3 days. But in the like more recent travelling, I will get a SIM card so that I can have like access to everything at all times. It's so important.
Does it not work when you... I swear my SIM card works when I go on holiday.
Yeah, but then you have to pay for it. And I was 17. I think I had like £100 to play with. Like I wasn't looking to be paying my phone bill charges.
Yeah, it only works for a certain amount of time, especially since Brexit. Because when I was in Mallorca the other week, it told me I'd run out of data, and I was like, what? Like I thought I had my usual, but I didn't. I had like my normal texts and calls, but I only had a small amount of data. And I didn't realise because I wasn't connecting to Wi-Fi in places.
Yeah, that does that. Or they give you like a daily allowance, and then you get that's like 100 megabytes, and you can't do anything with that.
No, not know that. I go on holiday, I spend the whatever it is, the 20 quid or whatever it is, and then
you've got money.
I just use
Yeah, that's because you've got money.
I didn't know people just went on holiday to get SIM cards and put some phone in carry on.
It's actually so cheap though. No, but I would on holiday now. Yeah, 100%. Like, I mean, if I was going for a couple days, then no. But if I was going for over a week, definitely. Like some of the places that I was getting SIM cards, it was like £1. Okay, that's exaggeration. Like £10 for a SIM card, and it's just like, well, I'd pay that on a drink, so I may as well just...
That is a great
travel
lesson.
tip number 1: get a
Write these down, guys.
Cool. So after that, obviously you did uni and all that, but then you decided to go travelling with two of your mates. So was that your idea?
We had all individually decided that we were going travelling, and it took for Lucy to call me and be like, hey, isn't it weird that we're going separately? we may as well just go together. And I was like, you make a valid point.
Yeah. And so how did you decide your routes? Because I imagine you all wanted to go to like different places.
Yeah, I mean, so Southeast Asia, which is where we started, well, we did majority of it was in Southeast Asia. There's a route called the Banana, I think it's called the Banana Trail.
Yeah.
I do this because this is what it looks like. And that's all just something that people generically will do. So we knew that that's what we wanted to do. And then I don't feel like there was any like disagreement or I want to go here. It was like someone would say I want to go here and we'd be like, okay, let's go. It wasn't like I don't know about that. There was at one point in the trip where the girls wanted to go to Malaysia and I'd already been before previously, so I was like I would go again because there was a couple of places that I had been to and we'd went to again, but I just was like I'm gonna go to South Korea when you guys do that. So we split up for a little bit.
And how was that?
It was hard to leave each other.
We did together for how long at
so
that point?
By that point it would have been 7 months, I think. This is where Lucy and Ellie will be like, you're wrong. But I think it was about that. Maybe 6-7 months. Either way, it was a really long time. And we'd been together like every day, majority of the day. And then, splitting up was difficult. But it was nice as well because then when we came back together, it was like we'd recharged and like it was just such a nice reunion. And especially at that point, because that was Lucy's last month, we really wanted to spend all of that time together just before she left.
Let's go.
That splitting up and doing that bit on your own, was that all of your first times solo travelling?
Well, not Els, because she obviously lived abroad for like a year.
Yeah.
In different places. But yeah, it was like, so not Els. I wouldn't say that was Els first. I think that was Lucy's and it was definitely mine because the only other time that I'd been on my own. Yeah, I had caught a flight alone, but I had travelled alone. So yeah, that was a big thing.
And how did you find that?
My first day, I was like, "What have I done? I'm not gonna meet anyone." Like, even though we'd been meeting new people for the previous 7 months, I was like, "I can't do this." I literally got to South Korea and called my mom, and it would have been like 3 a.m. here, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I'm on my own," and she's like, "Yeah, I know. What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I don't know what to do." And she's like, "What you've been doing for the past 7 months? Just do that." And then I think it was because I had a gap between being able to check into my hostel, so I just worked myself up, checked into my hostel, met people immediately, and it was fine.
Everything was good.
Everything was great.
Oh, that's so sick, man. It's one of the places on my list, South Korea, you know.
I would recommend to absolutely everyone. Everyone. Yeah. That's my favourite place in the whole world.
Especially for food.
Oh, the food, honestly. It was the only place that I wasn't being budget friendly because I was like, I'm here, I may as well just do it. I don't know when I'll next come or whether I'll come, which I definitely will go back. But yeah, the food. Oh, Korean barbecue.
Did you try anything new out there that you hadn't tried here?
Yeah, there was one thing that really stands out, and it was, I don't know if I told you this, I think I did. I think I sent everyone a picture of it. I got to Busan, which is in the south, and
I've heard about that place.
Really nice. It's in the mountains, but it's by the coast as well. It's so good. And I got into the hostel, and there was a group of American guys, probably about our age, and they were like, "Oh, we're going out for dinner, do you want to come with us?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm not too sure, what are you going to eat?" And the guy was like, "Well, I'm Korean, and there's this place that I know is really good, and they serve barbecue eel."
Ooh.
Eel.
I was like, "Oh no, I don't think that's for me."
It's not a bit of me.
I was like, "I don't think I would like that, so I'm not going to come." And then I was like, actually, what I'm gonna do is, I was
Yeah.
like, is it nice? And he was like, it's so good. And I was like, okay, I'll come. If I don't like it, then I won't eat it.
Yeah.
And oh my god, it was incredible.
Really?
What was the texture like?
Like chicken / calamari.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Chicken-
Oh, did you know like when you get chicken thighs?
God, keep talking.
Yeah, chicken thighs, and they've been
Yeah.
barbecued, and they just that like perfect juiciness.
Ooh, like
And then you
tender.
like the
Mouth
juiciness
is
where you're like,
watering.
should I check if it's raw? But it's not raw.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that
it's
sort
that
of
tender.
yeah, because it's that tender. And that's what the texture was. And I think it had just been done very well.
Yeah.
They ordered everything. So there was 2 Korean guys, and then I think there was like their friends were from somewhere else. And they ordered everything. So I knew that we were getting the best things, because it's
Yeah.
not just an English person trying to speak broken English to someone that can barely understand.
Yeah.
And I couldn't speak like Korean as well. So
Yeah.
when they were ordering, when they were ordering everything, I knew that it was going to be good.
Yeah.
And it really was. It was such a good experience. And
Ew, you know, that is so rogue. That's not what I thought you were going to say.
No.
yeah, no, it's the only thing that sticks in my mind. Because there was another thing that I tried, and this was literally like day 3 of the travels.
Yeah.
And Luce and Elle, I think they were sick of me after this day, because like anything we walked past, because Mark Weens does it, the YouTuber. Anything we walked past, I was like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna try that. And I made us sit down for this one meal, and it was horrible. And then later in the evening, there was a woman selling what looked like bows. That's what they looked like. And I was like, can I have one? And she was like, yeah. And then I took a large bite into this thing, and it was just like a fermented egg in there.
Oh my god.
Which I'm not gonna ever pull a face in front of somebody, because they're eating it like that's something that they eat.
Yeah,
it was just
yeah.
that for my palate, I couldn't enjoy it. So I just walked away, and she's like, good? And I'm like, good. Yeah. And walked away, and I just spat it out in front of Luce and Elle. Oh god, it was so bad.
See, I feel like I'm up for trying new things. Like, I see things. There's quite a few people that I follow on TikTok, and they will eat things that, to me, would be so obscure. But
Yeah.
obviously, it's just part of their day-to-day meals and stuff. And like, not the fermented egg, but well, it kind of is. But do you know the one that's got
Fertilised egg. Yeah,
the
they have that in the
fertilised egg, and
Philippines.
it's got like a little chick in it, but it's like not fully formed.
Yeah.
Kind of. I'm so intrigued by it.
It's the
I'm so
only
intrigued
thing.
by it.
It was the only thing where I thought, do you know what, I can't actually try that.
So can we just? So it's the it's like in there.
Yeah, so it's like the egg. Somewhere
a
between a
fertilised-
fertilised egg and an actual chick. But it's like it's growing.
And they just like sell them on the
And
sides
they
of
like
the
drink,
street.
so you drink the juice out of it, and then you like scoop it out and eat it. And it, I'm not gonna like. I feel like it kind of looks.
No, I mean,
that one, you know.
I eat chicken and I eat eggs, so I just can't imagine it tastes.
I think it's
wildly different.
it's the psychological thing for
No, yeah,
us.
yeah,
It's so
100%.
different from anything we've ever had. My dad's tried it.
What's he
What
saying
do you
about
think?
it?
He
Oh really?
no.
Not
It's
the
the
one.
texture for me of things. Like I
Yeah.
don't remember what it's called, but you know the dish. It comes in like the little plastic, and it's like beans, and you mix it, and it's like snotty in texture. I don't know what it's called. I'll find out, guys.
Yeah,
and I'll put it
I'm
on Instagram.
intrigued.
But the texture of that's what puts me off, because it looks quite like. Do you know when you don't fully cook an egg and it's
Gunky.
snotty? It looks like that.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would like it, but then I see someone eating it and really enjoying it, and I think, well, now I want to taste it. So
But
I
there
want
are,
to see
like,
what it tastes like.
Gunky things that are nice. Like, would you say risotto is gunky?
I don't love risotto.
Oh, then
I
yeah.
think
I
risotto
couldn't
needs to be
wet rice.
cooked by the
Rice
right
pudding.
person.
I don't like rice pudding.
Maybe.
So that's why I don't think I
Oh yeah, you
like
probably
that.
wouldn't like it if you're a textures person.
I am a texture. Flavours I'm all here for, but textures are what make me not like things. Like,
Yeah.
I ate that tomato around yours
Yeah.
and really sick.
Tomato.
Just a cherry tomato. It's just
No.
literally and a really nice cherry tomato, might I
I'd
add.
rather it's too the juice when the juice like hits.
She literally put it in her mouth and she was like, "Ugh, I can't eat that."
And here's me talking about eating a fertilised egg.
In it?
I can't admit
There
to
was
it.
Also, like a lot of the some places, I remember Laos specifically, you'd be on the bus and you'd just be going from place to place, and then like it would stop and these old ladies would just come on with like barbecue sticks and they're selling them. And it was just barbecue wraps.
Wow. But
again, something that I would have tried. Now I look back, I really regret not trying it.
Because that's what I mean. It's not.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking about. Yeah, but you're thinking about a rat running across the street here. It's not the same.
Not even, but like even like here, like if I was to go to someone selling food on the street, or someone coming onto the bus and selling me food, are you going to take the food off them? Do you know what I'm saying?
But they're like, you do.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't.
Especially if you like on a
I'm
long
not even
bus
thinking.
journey.
Yeah, I'm not even thinking about it.
Because it's so normal. So you'd be like, well, if all the locals are eating from them, then why would you
exactly.
not?
And like, to be fair, like that obviously you get a stronger stomach if you've always been eating stuff like that, and the way that they cook it. But yeah, there wasn't a time where I thought, ooh, I'm not going to eat that because of like the way you've cooked it or like the way you're presenting it to me. I don't think I've never felt like that. And like I've heard horror stories because, well, my dad travelled when he was younger, and like back then obviously it was so different. You didn't have access to anything. Like there was nothing, and he sat down eating this dish I think it was in the Philippines. And eating away at it, and he's like, oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. And then this guy came over and was like, and my dad was like, oh, what is it? And he just pointed at a dog.
Oh, Jesus Christ, mate.
And my dad said he just vomited everywhere. And he was like, it's such a psychological thing because he was enjoying it up until the point that someone said that that's a dog.
Yeah. I find it so interesting.
It is really interesting, isn't it?
But talking about what you were saying about developing a stronger stomach, because I think this is one thing that worries me a bit about travelling for such a long time is getting ill.
Yeah.
And you did get ill, didn't you?
I did.
From time to time. So where was that and how was that for you?
I was in Vietnam. I don't think I got food poisoning. Mm-hmm. I think I actually just got a stomach flu.
Yeah.
And it was horrendous. It was fine, but it was horrendous.
I survived.
I think the hardest thing was that I couldn't eat, and I really wanted to eat, but like every time I'd eat, I'd just be like, game over. I just I'm not gonna go into details. And I was just so unwell, and there was things that the girls were doing, and I was like, oh, I really want to do those things, but like physically could not even move. Like I was trying to like fill myself up with electrolytes, but it was just not happening. It's so hot as well that you're just like sweating profusely and not eating, and it wasn't a great time, but I got over it.
Did you go to doctors or anything?
No. We were in a homestay, so it was like it's like an Airbnb, and the family live in the same place as you, and then you just get a room. And the lady that owned it was like, oh, how come you're not going out with your friends? And I was like, oh, not well, and like pointing to my stomach. And she was like, oh, come with me. And you just do. Like, you don't, like, you just go.
No questions.
She just took me across the road and was like, you stay at my friend's house. And I was like, okay.
Don't kick me out.
So she introduced me to her friend, and like luckily, I mean, I obviously wasn't speaking Vietnamese. Luckily her friend could speak good, like better English, and she was just asking me, oh, like what's wrong and all this, and I was telling her, and then she gave me medication, which I didn't take, because then when I looked at it afterwards, it was actually a laxative, so I'm so glad I didn't take it.
Mad.
But like, and then she was just generally like giving me like plain toast, and then we were chatting for ages, and then her kids and her husband came back, and they had me round for dinner.
Oh, that's so bad.
It was so wholesome. The whole time I'm getting calls from Lucy and Ellie being like, where are you? But I couldn't really go on my phone to be like, oh, I'm just next door.
Yeah.
So they were stressing because they thought, where has she gone? And I was gone for ages, and I came back and they just couldn't believe it. I was like, yeah, I've just had dinner with the neighbours. Like, so there was people, I didn't go to the doctors, but there were people, like everyone has like their local natural remedies that they, and like herbal tea, massive thing. And that worked eventually.
Okay.
I agree. That was such a nice little story.
Yeah.
I love the the sense of community.
Oh, massive.
that
There's a massive
we
sense of
just don't have
community.
here.
I feel like you do get it in some areas,
Yeah.
but not everywhere. It's not like that.
Yeah.
It's definitely not like that.
And if you were hearing someone said like, "Oh, come across the road with me," you'd be like,
No.
stranger danger."
Yeah.
For real.
There was a lot of times where we were just like, okay. But now I look back and I'm like, could have been really bad, but
We're lucky to be alive.
yeah.
Okay, so did this happen after the after you did your solo travelling, yeah?
This was before. This was in
This
the
was
first
before? Oh,
country. So I kind of
To a
got,
good start.
but I got lucky as well because then I just got it out of the way.
Yeah.
That was me done. Touch wood. But like, I can't remember getting ill again after that. I think that was my one time.
That's really good.
I got quite lucky.
Sick, man. Oh, that's so sick.
I know. I absolutely love hearing about your travels.
Yeah.
I
for
feel
real.
like it's become my whole personality.
You are a bit of a traveller, aren't you? I mean, you said that your mum and dad did it, your brother did it.
Yeah,
So,
everyone, pretty much everyone in my family
It was
has
bound,
done it. It's just always been something that has been like embedded in us as like kids because, well, dad did it. And then, my brother went and did it. And he was like, oh, I'm going for 6 months. And it came back like 3 years later. And I was like, okay, my turn.
Sick, man. So, after you finished travelling with the girls, did you decide on that trip that you were going to Australia, and was that pre-planned?
So Australia was always in the background. Like we were always like, oh, we'll go to Australia at the end. That's something that we'll do. After living in Manchester and like we really loved living there, we were like, okay, maybe we'll just go to Oz for a couple months and then come back to the UK. And then the first month because we called you, didn't we? Yeah. The first month or second month in, we were like, we don't want to go. Like, maybe we should just go work in Australia. Okay. And then we called you and we called our families and we were like, we're not going to come back just yet. And then as we were travelling, like, all three of our plans just changed. There's like Luce and Elle decided that wasn't something that they wanted to do at that time. Yeah. But I just stuck to my guns and I was ready to do it. So I just thought I owe it to myself to go and do it anyway.
Yeah. Which is so good because I feel like I can imagine it must have been hard.
Oh, it was so
was there
hard.
Part of you that was like, should I just go? And
I remember having the conversation with Ellie and I was like, oh, maybe I should just come home for a couple of weeks and then go to Australia. Like, I should just, come pop home. I should see everyone and then go. And she was like, but you don't want to do that. And it's not that I didn't want to come back and see everyone. Of course I did. But I was like, I didn't want to have that gap because I didn't want it to stop me from going and doing something that I'd wanted to do. But it was really difficult. And getting to Australia, that was super hard because it was like a breakup. It's a really bad breakup.
Because you spent bar the bit of solo travelling you spent every second of every day together.
Yeah, we were literally inseparable. It was insane because most people are like, surely you had a couple of arguments. Like, surely there was something. Like, you can't have just been all good the whole time. But genuinely, nothing. Like, obviously people annoy you from time to time. Lucy and Ellie are quite annoying.
I can vouch.
Me even more so. But like literally we morphed into one person and it was great.
Well, I can imagine because you guys have like a really like tight group.
Yeah.
And it's very like sister-like. So I can imagine it was just like going on holiday. Oh, she pissed me off, but then you're like eating dinner. Yeah, it's cool, man. I like it. So you got to Australia. Mm-hmm. What was it that made you say, you know what? Fuck you guys in the UK. I'm staying here.
It didn't come to me easy, to be fair.
I thought it would have been pretty instant for you,
No, I always had a preconception of Australia. I was like, I'm not gonna like it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's for me. I'm gonna go trial it out, and then I got there and I was not enjoying myself. Like I was pushing through it because I knew that I needed to stick it out and see what was going on. I think it had something to do with the girls not being with me at first, but then also I was just finding it difficult to find my feet, get back into a routine. Like I wasn't just, it was like traveling had never happened. So what the girls felt when they came back here, because they say like when they got back it took like 30 minutes and then it felt like it never happened. I had that, but in a whole new country, and I couldn't speak to anyone about traveling because a lot of the people that I was meeting, they'd just come straight to Australia, and they thought that I'd done the same as well, and they weren't really like, they just didn't quite get why I was struggling with. It was a massive culture change. Like I'd gone from being in Asia for like nearly 9 months to then coming to the Western society where I'm walking down the street and no one wants to say hello to me anymore. Like, and getting back into work, feeling exhausted all the time. Like it was hard, and just meeting. I found it hard to like meet a good solid group of people for the first couple months.
I guess as well, like you said, when you were working, when you first got your job, you were still in a hostel, weren't you?
Yeah. Oh God, that was an awful time. Don't recommend to anyone.
How long was you in a hostel for?
2 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you found like a house share type situation, or did you just get a flat?
Yeah, a house share. So I was in the hostel for 2 months, and it was it's my own fault. It was a party hostel. And I just stayed there because I was like, well, I've met people here now, so there's no point in me leaving it.
Yeah.
And I was lucky in the sense that when I got my job, my whole room got jobs as well. So we were the working room. Like people, it was lights out at 10 p.m. We try to go to sleep, and then people have got work in the morning. You still can't sleep in a party hostel, but yeah, I was lucky in that sense sometimes. And then moved out with the people in my room.
Right, okay, so you moved into your house share, and did that get a bit easier with work and stuff?
Yes, it did. But my house that I moved into, again, my own fault. I moved in with an average age of 20-year-olds.
So you went from a party hostel to a party house?
Yeah, basically. And like, it wasn't everyone. Like, there were people that wanted their sleep, but when people didn't care about their own sleep, they also didn't care about other people's sleep, which is not the easiest setting to be living in. It was also a shithole, like such a bad house.
Yeah. Where in Australia are you?
I'm in Melbourne.
You're in Melbourne? Perfect.
Yeah.
Cool. So, are you still friends with these people now? Or like some of them? Or...
I don't think I actually speak to any of them. One of the boys, he moved back to the UK, so that was just because of the distance that we ended up not seeing each other. But yeah, I don't really speak to any of them anymore. It was 3 months that I lived with them, and I met my boyfriend at the time when I was living with those people, and spent a lot of time at his, because I was literally like, I'd go back to the house, there'd be one spoon that you could use in the kitchen.
Oh, Jesus.
And I was just like, I can't do this.
It's not gonna always. It's like when you go to uni, but like way more intense because you're obviously in a different country. But you're gonna be put with a group of people you're not always gonna gel with.
100%.
Like, I'm sure they're all lovely, but you're not always gonna be on the same page, and you would never have known if you hadn't lived there.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like trial and error.
100%. Like, obviously everyone was just doing their own thing. I think a big thing is like, a lot of people are going to Australia and they know that they're only going to be there for a year.
Yeah.
So they're getting everything out of their system, and like, as well, they're young. Like, not that we're not young, but like they're younger. And they want to do that. They want to go out and be hungover for work the next day. Whereas I'd just been doing that for like the 9 months beforehand.
Yeah.
And also the 12 months before that when we were living in Manchester. Acting like we were wearing freshers every week.
So you were very much ready to live a more wholesome
life. The weirdest thing was, I will say, I think I've skipped it, but the weirdest thing was putting my clothes in a wardrobe. Because I'd just been in a backpack. I literally videoed the whole moment. I put my 2 items of clothing into a wardrobe.
Crazy. I forgot about like the little things that you just wouldn't be doing when you're travelling.
Cooking, which is not a little thing, but like it's like those little mundane things that you're like, I actually just wanted to hang my clothes up and see them rather than look into my bag and see what I've got.
Organised chaos.
Yeah, organised chaos, literally.
So you stayed with them girls for 3 months, or boys, whoever you was with. Was it after that where you decided, actually, I want to be here more long term?
Yeah, so by maybe like the third month in, I'd met like a really good group of people, became really close with them. We did so much together, like we would do, and not just like going out, which was so nice. It was like we'd do a come dine with me every Wednesday, and like
that's sick.
we'd go down to the beach together, and like if I had any free time, I was spending it with them, and they really just made me love like living in Australia.
It is the people that make it. It really is.
Yeah, 100%. Like, definitely. I think that's with anything though. Like some people have a bad experience at uni, and I think 99% of the time it's because you've not met good people, or your kind of people, not good people, but like I'm sure they're great, but
Crowd.
you need to be able to gel with people. You need to be able to have a conversation more than just the small talk. Otherwise you're not gaining anything from it.
You could literally be in the most beautiful place on the earth, but if you're with not your kind of person or a shit person, you're not going to enjoy it.
So how did you find them? Was it just from going out then?
Yeah, I mean, we were at a pub and we were at the pool table at the pub, and then we just all started speaking there, and then we decided to go to a pub another night together, and then from then I think we literally saw each other 5 times a week every week.
Oh, that's good.
I love that.
Yeah, until they left, but
So who's left with you now then? Who's up there?
so there's a few people, I think. So as I was leaving, everyone else was leaving too, because it's like a yearly visa. So you come into the end of your visa, people are either deciding to stay and renew it, or people are deciding to leave and go home. So I don't know who's going to be there when we get back, because like I know that there is definitely a few select people that I know for definite are going back, but I think it's just going to be quite different, because we ended up being a group of like 20 of us, or like like a big extended group. But I know a lot of people left, so I don't know. I guess we'll see. I might have no friends, although Lucy's coming now, so
Is she coming back with you?
yeah, so she'll be there before I get back.
Oh, is
She
it?
goes to September.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm going travelling.
Oh yeah.
I could have sworn you're going back to Australia. I thought you were going back to Australia like this week.
No, I'm leaving the UK this week, but I won't get back to Australia till like end of October.
Oh really? So where are you going now?
Let's talk about the future.
Yeah, let's
Yeah, I just spoke about how much I wanted to unpack a bag and then have a wardrobe, cook, all this. It took me 11 months, and I was like, I need to go travelling again. So on Thursday, I'm going to Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Okay.
Which is a rogue one, everyone says. But actually somewhere that I've always wanted to go, to be fair, because history geek, that's where Franz Ferdinand was assassinated. And that's the start of the World War One.
Okay.
And so, so the reason behind going there is because when I was looking to go to the second destination, which is Sri Lanka, all of the connection flights were in Bosnia.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, how much cheaper is it if I book it from Bosnia? And it was like £100 cheaper.
Oh really?
So I was like, well, I'll just do that then.
Yeah.
And then I can get I think my flight to Bosnia was like £20.
Oh, you're both of you are
crazy.
I think that's the good thing with travelling, is like I've become an expert at finding flights now.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Love that for you, mate.
Yeah, so then it'll be Sri Lanka, and then Taiwan, and then Japan, and then
Japan. I'm so jealous.
I'll go back to Vietnam after that,
Okay.
and then to Australia.
I'm so excited for you, but also could actually cry. I'm so jealous.
Japan, dream.
Honestly, that was the one place that when me and the girls went away, I was like, I want to go there. No matter what we do, that's where I want to go. And we had a plan to go there at the beginning of the trip. That was going to be the first country, because we were like, we'll go to the most expensive first, and then we'll work the budget backwards. But Japan still had their COVID regulations in, and we couldn't go there. So And then we booked our flight to Vietnam, and then the regulations changed.
Of course.
But by that point, we'd already had in our heads what we were going to be doing. And for the length of time that we wanted to travel, Japan wasn't going to work then.
Yeah.
But that's why now I'm going.
Now you're going to Japan. Whereabouts in Japan are you going?
I'm not 100% sure yet. I will land in Fukuoka, which is right at the bottom, and then work from there. So like Hiroshima, and then the Osaka, Kyoto, Tokyo, and then figure it out from there.
Oh, God, I'm so excited to see all of the cool things that you're going to do and eat.
I'm gassed.
I know, the food.
Is literally such a big
I'm excited for the 7-Elevens. Like, that is...
I watch so many 7-Eleven TikToks, like, so many. They don't even have to speak. They'll just go in, pick something up, cook it in there, sit down and watch them eat it. And
I'm the same. I watch too many 7-Eleven hauls, but I love it. Did you go to 7-Eleven when you were in Thailand?
Yeah. I don't fully, like,
did you have a ham and cheese toasty?
No.
What?
I don't feel like a fully
Anyone?
experience a 7-Eleven. Like, when I was in 7-Eleven, I was like, oh, it's just a shop. Whereas now, my idea of 7-Eleven is like, it is the greatest shop in the world.
Yeah, it is.
When I went, I don't feel like anyone had told me like
to have a ham and cheese toasty. So the ham and cheese toasty is something that you can't miss when you go to Thailand.
Or go to Thailand and didn't have a ham and cheese.
You basically didn't go to Thailand, because I'm telling you now, 90% of the travellers in Thailand live off those toasties,
really?
Us included. Yeah. They are so good as well. I don't know if we were just starving that we thought they were good, but like, no, if you have a look on TikTok, everyone raves about them. And then the 7-Elevens in South Korea were really good, so that's got me excited for the 7-Elevens in Japan too.
And they've got those vending machines as well. They do everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Get a ramen out of a vending machine. I'll have that.
You're actually going to have to make this TikTok or Instagram or whatever for your travel.
I know. I do need to document those things. 100%. Because I love watching those things. That's where I get most of my travel ideas from, is seeing other people's content.
Yeah.
So I think that people deserve it.
See what I do.
Yeah, so stay tuned, guys. She's coming.
The newest travel.
Don't hold me accountable.
So you're going to do all this travelling, and then you're going to go back to Australia, and then just, is that where you're settled now? That way you're thinking to stay for? Yeah,
for now. I mean, I'd like to stay there. Like, I'd like to get my permanent residency there. So if you're my boss and you're listening, make sure you sponsor me. But I've also just got so much I want to do. Yeah. That bug does. You know how like you get the tattoo bug?
Yeah.
The travel bug is rude. It is taking all your money and more. Like.
Fair enough. You'd rather money go towards like experiences.
100%.
100%. You can't take the green to the grave, kids.
Exactly.
So, preach.
Life is for living. Honestly, this is what. Don't take any money.
I was gonna say.
This is why I am broke all the time, because life is all about the experience.
We were just talking about you budgeting.
Yeah, and I am gonna. Because I want to do big experiences. That's the difference. It's like I do a lot of little experiences right now, which are great. But I want to do bigger experiences, and the only way to do that is cut out some of the smaller ones.
100%. You've got to make sacrifices. Because I can sit here and be like, oh, travelling's so great, like go and do it, blah blah blah. But like, you have to make sacrifices beforehand.
Love that, man. I was doing budgeting today as well. Well, not today, last night. I did a whole like
spreadsheet. It's the best way.
Really cool templates on Excel.
I did my own.
Did you colour coordinate it all? Oh, I love it.
You can show that later. That's exciting.
Yeah.
I love Excel spreadsheets just for budgeting, not for work.
Well, yeah. Well, work was like, can you just like get your knowledge up on some Excel? I was like, sure thing, buddy. Got some budgeting to do anyway. So
there we go.
Let's do that. But sick, man. Sick.
You have to though. When you want to do big trips, like it doesn't just money doesn't grow on trees, as they say. So you've got to just graft it until you can afford it.
Yeah, man. Holiday fund is there.
There.
I've even renamed it in my bank saying holiday. This is for holiday.
So you can see it and remind you.
That is what you need though as well. Like I feel like once you've got something booked, that is what motivates you to keep going.
I agree.
Crazy. There's a question that I wanted to put out there, but I feel like we were so past it. But I was going to say, what?
Bring it back.
Like, how did you overcome the fear, if there was fear, when you were first thinking, okay, I'm going to go travelling? Because that's the one thing that grates on me is like, I'm so shook to just go and especially do it by yourself as well. It's a bit crazy. It's so crazy.
It is a big thing. Like, I think anyone that says that they don't have any nerves for it is lying. Yeah. Like, no matter what. Like, you've got this idea of what you're going to do. What if it doesn't work out the way you want it to? Like, it doesn't even have to be about whether you're going to go and have the same experiences as what other people have had. It's just like, am I going to enjoy it? I've built this whole thing up in my head of something that I've wanted to do for forever. And me and the girls spoke about it so much, where we were saying that for the longest time, if anyone asked us what our plan was for the future, we were like, well, we're going travelling.
Yeah.
And then we were travelling, and then we were like, so what's next? I don't know what what you're doing next is. And that was a big thing before we left. We were like, that thing that we've been building up for like the last 10 years or whatever, however long we've wanted to do it, it's now we're doing it. And that, like, we don't have that to fall back on. Not that you need something to fall back on.
It's nice to be able to.
Yeah, 100%. I've took it for granted how much I was saying that. And even just like the going out there, you don't know what to expect. It's such a sensory overload if you've never been to that part of the world as well. Because like, I have been lucky enough that I have been to Southeast Asia and have had previous experience. But we landed in Hanoi, which anyone that's been there will tell you, like, it's just crazy vibes. And I was just walking down the street. We literally got off the plane, got on the bus, and then we were walking down Old Town, which is like a main area where it was like, and it was, I think it was like 6 a.m. So people were busy getting to work and stuff like that. And I was walking down the street, I felt completely fine. I turned around and looked at Ellie, and she just looked shell-shocked. And I'd just completely forgotten that, like, for someone that hasn't seen it before, it's a massive... It's just it's a shock to the system. Like, you don't know what to expect when you get there. So I think everyone has that, like, anticipation of what it could be, and that's a fear for everybody. But if you don't do it, you don't know. And I think the thing that you have to tell yourself is, like, you can go there, hate it, and leave. You don't need to stay.
True.
I think that's what people really hammer down on, is like, oh, like, I've committed to this, so I have to do it. But when you come across people that have decided to go home earlier than what they had planned to, no one's ever like, but why? People are just like, oh, okay, like, fair enough. You've tried it. You've decided it's not for you, and you want to go home, or you've really loved it and you're done with it. It's fine.
That chapter's closed.
Yeah.
Love that. So when are you going to start doing some travelling in the Caribbean? You're like my poster girl now for travelling. So
I
need you to do it so I can do it.
I would love to. That is definitely on the list.
On the list. Nice. Love that. Get you to Jamaica.
I know. I feel like because of the way people usually go, I always have just seen it as like a holiday destination, but it's definitely backpackerable.
There's so many islands and so many places. Like, it's crazy. I'm going to Jamaica next year.
Have you booked it?
It's for Mom's birthday. So
oh, nice.
Gotta sort out
all that.
That'll be so good. You need to document that.
100%.
I think I will. Yeah. I think I will. I think the way things are going now, documenting everything is the way to go.
100%. Even just to look back on it.
Yeah. I might go and just not come back, guys. I might do a...
Fair enough.
Caribbean, I'm an island girl now, do you know what I mean?
Prince like, I can't lose another friend.
It's on his podcast.
For real, man. But yeah, sick. I like it.
Love
so,
that.
have you got any final words for the people? Any words of advice? Anything like, yeah, go travelling, go to Australia, go to New Zealand,
anything.
Go anywhere. You got anything to say to them?
Yeah, I literally feel like all I can say is if you ever have anything that you want to do, not to sound like a cliche, not to say cliche, but just do it. No,
but it's the truth though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's like that's with everything, but especially with travelling. If you've thought about it, don't think about it. Just go and do it. Because the more you think about it, you will find the negatives in it, and then you won't do it. Just go.
I love that.
Love that. Sick.
As Nike once said.
Yeah, I know. I was like, should I just mention that I stole that from Nike? Or did they steal it from me?
Gosh. But yeah, man, cool. I feel like that was a really, really fun episode.
It was. I really enjoyed it.
Me too. Amazing.
Good. Yeah.
Your first ever podcast.
I just spoke about myself for so long.
That's what we do.
Yeah, so literally every week. Yeah. So guys, I want to say a massive thank you to Sheeva for coming out today, for coming all the way from Australia just for this podcast.
Exactly. It's true.
Yeah, so if you liked the episode, drop us a comment, let us know what you think. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to us please. We like it. We've got a goal to hit 500 subscribers by the end of the year. Spotify, give us a 5-star rating. You know we love you. You're our favourite people. Prin, where can they find us?
You can find us on Instagram and TikTok always at branchnoutpodcast_. And if you would like to send us an email, you can do that too. The email address is branchnout2023@outlook.com.
Perfect. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Peace
Bye.
out. Bye.
Bye.